Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today's tutorial is going to be a mesh pants, and I made it quite simple. This tutorial is very basic and detailed, giving you all the step-by-step techniques I use. This is not the first time I'm making a mesh pants. However, this is the first tutorial I'm recording here on YouTube. The first exact one I made was this brown mesh pants. I got a lot of reposts on this particular mesh pants, so I decided to make the black version, which is what you can see on your background right there. The mesh pants includes chain stitches, single crochet stitches, and then double crochet. However, the waist area for this mesh pants is made with flower motif because I've been using the ribbed band or the waistband, the regular ones we mostly use for dresses, and I wanted to switch it up, so I use square motif. However, if you don't want to use that square motif, you could just do a ribbed band by chaining the amount of width you want, and then you do single crochet in the back loops or half double crochet in the back loops to get the stretchy effect you want. But if you want to follow my square motif, you can just go on and watch before we transition into the chain stitch part, which is the meshy part. However, sometimes my explanations could be a little bit faster than usual, so I want to teach you a little way of reducing the speed whilst you are watching my tutorial, especially to the others you have been watching. It applies to all. So when you go on YouTube, I'm screen recording from my tablets right now, and you click any of my videos, don't skip the ads though, you realize that when you click on my tutorial, there is this corner, just tap and this feature comes. So you click on the corner space, which is for settings, and then you just click play speed or playback speed normal, and afterwards this is the normal feature. So to make it a little bit slower, you can go up to 0.7 times, and it becomes a little bit slower if I'm moving too fast. I hope this is helpful for most of my tutorials. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video to others, and yeah, let's begin. For this project, you are going to need some yarn, acrylic yarn. Okay, I prefer lightweight and I'm using black. You can use any color of your choice. I'm using the Yeye yarn from Nigeria. It's 40 grams in net weight and it's 100% acrylic. For the hook, I'm using a smaller hook. This is a 2.0 millimeter hook. Depending on how you want it to flow, you can also go in for the 3.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to need some safety scissors. I'm going to need some elastic for the waist, okay, and then I'm going to need some darning needle. This is optional. Let's begin. Normally pull the strand for the middle in order for it to be convenient, okay, so that the release or the tension becomes smooth instead of using the outer part. Let's analyze something small before we begin. Okay, the waist consists of square motifs, okay, very simple square motifs, okay, and I'm just running you through the anatomy. You are going to make the number of square motifs which will fit around your waist, okay. However, you can add an extra 2-inch in order to make it a little bit longer, since we will be using an elastic to slip stitch in within, so that it becomes very bunched up a little and more flexible on the waist. I'll show you quickly, no rush here. So to begin, we are going to make a slip knot, okay, like this. Insert your hook into the slip knot created, grip up to secure, and then we are going to chain a total of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we are going to slip stitch into the very first chain space you made. So just locate it over there, insert, pull through, and then pull up the loop. Secured nicely. You realize that you have created a nice hole. This is also an alternative or beginner friendly form of making a magic ring. Afterwards, you are going to chain a total of 3. 1, 2, 3, okay, and then we are going to add an extra chain 1, which will serve as a space, okay. We are going back into the space created after the chain 4 right there. We are going to put a double crochet there. So wrap the yarn around the hook, insert into the space, pull through. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 2 loops. Okay, so you are going to move along to create 4 extra double crochets, but with chain 1 separating. Let's move to the next instance. So you just chain 1, go back into the same space, double crochet. Okay, so right now you have 3 double crochets. Okay, because the chain 4 from the previous row counts as a stitch. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, which means we have to do 3 more with chain 1 separating. So let's do the next one, which is the 4th. You chain 1, go back into the space, double crochet. You have 4 so far. You chain 1, go back into the space, double crochet. This is number 5. You chain 1, go back into the space, double crochet. This is number 6. Okay, so now you have 6 double crochets, including the chain 4 we made from the previous row. We chain 1 spaces separating them. So now what you are going to do is to chain 1, count to the 3rd chain space, so 1, 2, 3, somewhere here, and then slip stitch to join. Okay, insert, pull through. Okay, you should have something like this. That's the base of the. So the next is to create chain spaces. Okay, chain spaces, which we would be working the flower motif detail with. Okay, so what you are going to do is to chain a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, right there. Move into the same exact space. Okay, this first space, which was the previous chain 4 space, and then slip stitch instead. Sorry, slip stitch to join. You should have this nice chain, round detail here. Move along, chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now locate, you are looking for the chain 1 spaces. Okay, locate the next chain 1 space, insert your hook, slip stitch to join. So you have 2 chain 5 spaces so far. Then chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next space, slip stitch to join. 3 chain 5 spaces, chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Locate the next space, slip stitch to join. 4 now, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Locate the next piece, slip stitch to join. 5 now, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Locate the next space, slip stitch to join. So you should have 6 chain 5 spaces like this. Okay, before we start working the detail inside the spaces. So in this first space here, we are going to put 3 half double crochets. Sorry, we are going to put 2 half double crochets, 3 double crochets and 2 half double crochets. Okay, in this space, the first chain 5 space we made from the previous row. So we are going to wrap the yarn around the hook, insert into the space, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. This is your first half double crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, 2 half double crochet. Now you're going to put 3 double crochets in the same space. So 1, this is the first double crochet, 2, and then 3. Back in the same space, 2 half double crochets once again. So 1 and then 2, and that's it. Okay, that's how I create the petal. So what you are going to do is to repeat the same thing in all the spaces. So to do that, you just wrap the yarn around the hook, make your first half double crochet directly in the next space nicely, just like this. you add an extra half double crochet once again, because we have to do 2 half double crochet. Then you put 3 double crochets in the same exact space. 1, 2, 3. Then you put 2 half double crochets back in the same space. So 1 and then 2. Nicely done. That's how I create my petals in all the spaces. I'll meet you at the last space. So you're supposed to have 6 petals, okay? I'll meet you here at the last space, and then we move to the next step. Now after completing this final petal, you are going to slip stitch on the first stitch for the very first petal you made, and then you are going to turn over your work, okay? Just fold it, glancing towards the downward part, okay? You are now going to slip stitch into, you know, the space down there, okay? The space we worked the petal in, okay? I'm just going to slip stitch into that space, okay? So after slip stitching into the space, you're going to chain 7. Now do not slip stitch into the same space. You move to the next and slip stitch to join, okay? The next space is right here. Slip stitch to join. You should have this. Now fold the petal down so that you can locate the spaces easily. I'm going to chain 7 once again, and then locate the next space, slip stitch to join. This is the next space, and slip stitch to join. Okay, now continue. Okay, continue. You chain 7, move to the next space, slip stitch to join. We have 3 so far. I'm supposed to have 6. You chain 7, move to the next space, slip stitch to join. We have 4 so far. You chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move to the next space, slip stitch to join. Right there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, this is going to be the 6th chain, and then we are going to insert into the very first chain space, okay, where you chained, and then just connect with a slip stitch. Okay, now this is how it will look like. And now you are going to work the petals detail into the chain spaces. This time we are going to do a total of 2 double crochets, 3 triple crochets, and 2 double crochets. Okay, so to do a double crochet, you are going to wrap the yarn around the hook, insert, pull through, and you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 as usual, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've made the very first double crochet inside the space. It's going to be the second, so 2 double crochets. Now I'm going to do triple crochets. Let's go over. You wrap the yarn around the hook twice, insert into the space, pull through. I'm going to have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 2 loops. That's a triple crochet. I'm going to add extra 2 triple crochets in the same space. So as usual, wrap the yarn around the hook twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, now I'm going to add 2 regular double crochets back. So 1 and 2, and you should have this underneath the petal. You can see that it is already flourishing and a little bit longer than the previous one on it. So that's what you're going to do in all the chain spaces we have created from the previous row. Just move directly into the next piece. You put 2 double crochets, 3 triple crochets, then 2 double crochets backwards, and then yeah, I'm going to do this in all the spaces and I'll meet you at the end. So now you're going to, after you finish the last petal, you're going to slip stitch to join. Oh my god. Since when did slip stitching become a major problem? Okay, done. And then this is what you should have. So I want to give you a little bit information on how to join on a longer strip. So you are going to make as long as you want. You are going to make the several number of motifs. Particular motif measures 5 centimeters. Okay, 5 centimeters. Okay, so basically if this is 5 centimeters and probably your waist measures 32 centimeters or whatever it measures, you're going to make the number of rows. Okay, you're going to multiply that, divide that by the, and then you see the number. So maybe 5 divided by 32, that will give you a distinct idea. But in order to join the strip, this is the previous one I did. Okay, this particular one was made with a little bit thinner yarn that I thrifted. Okay, so hence the square motifs are a little bit small, but this is how I join. Okay, I just join the ends of the flower. Okay, so the peaks of the flower, for instance here where we did the triple crochet is where it peaks. So I'm just going to join. I just picked 2 separate random flowers closer to each other, pick the other motif and just single crochet, okay, to join both at the same time. And then I slip stitch towards the edge, okay, and then when I get to the other peak, I single crochet both together. And that's how I join in the strip for it to have this effect. Okay, so you're just, it's easy, you are not going to slip stitch everything together. You're just single crocheting these 2 ends, these 2 together. So just like this, you single crochet them together. But in order to move to the next one, you slip stitch along the edge and single crochet to the next one. And then for this square motif, I made a total of 18. Okay, I made it a little bit bigger. Okay, I added an extra 2 inch to make it more longer. Okay, since I'm going to use this to bunch it together a little. Okay, so yeah, that is what you are going to do for your square motifs. I'm not going to run you through the joining process, but yeah, let's move on to working on this. Okay, So I'm going to just drop and work on slip stitching this yarn. Okay, so to slip stitch this yarn, you know, this is what I do. Okay, I make sure I stretch it very well before slip stitching. So I stretch it very well, and then I start slip stitching. I'm going to slip stitch both sides, so these bases, but I'm slip stitching it within, inside, not outside. Okay, so I'm just going to slip stitch the end. So pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook. Pull through the loop. So just slip stitch the bases, just the bases, any spaces you find, just slip stitch. Okay, to bunch them together. So I'm just going to slip stitch this base and the other opposite base as well. Okay, so smoothly and keep stretching. Okay, keep stretching. Okay, so you see they are bunching together. So I'll do this all around, cut, and then also do it at this edge. Okay, I'll show you the before and after results. So this is how it looks after slip stitching together. You realize that, look, it becomes more stretchy and bunched up together, which is the feeling, or this is what we strive to get with this result. So yeah, we would be working on the mesh part. Okay, we'll be working on the mesh part. As I said, I'm using the diamond mesh stitch with picot edging. I'm going to single crochet on the edges first of all to clean up the base before we start working on the diamond mesh stitch. So just insert a single crochet nicely in all the stitches, all the spaces you find all round, and slip stitch to join at the very first piece, and then we work the diamond mesh stitch. So we single crochet all around the edge, and now we are going to join here with a slip stitch. The next step is to work on the diamond mesh stitch with the picot edging. First of all, we are going to chain a total of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so after 10 chains, you are going to locate the third space. So count to 1, 2, 3, the third space from the hook, and then you are going to single crochet over there to create a picot edging, as a little picot edging. Afterwards, we are going to chain a total of 7. Okay, so the reason why we chain 10 is because of the picot edging. So the 3 chains missed will bring this back to 7 chains. So that's why we are chaining 7 to make it asymmetrical. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we now have 7 chain. We are going back. Okay, we are going to skip 7 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you skip 7 spaces. On the 8th space, you are going to slip stitch to join. Okay, slip stitch to join, and you have your first diamond stitch with a picot edging. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. Let's do it once again on the edge. You're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You slip stitch from the third space on the hook. So you count to 3, you slip stitch, you single crochet, sorry, and then you have this picot edging, and then you chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you are going to count, skip 7 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on the 8th space you slip stitch to join. Okay, and that is it. This is what you're going to have nicely done. So you're going to do this all around. I'll give you the number of diamond mesh that I end up making on the edge. If you do not have the same number, it doesn't mean you did something wrong. But yeah, I'm just going to give you that basic information, just in case just for your sakes, okay? I don't want anyone to ask me questions about that, so I try to give as much information as possible, okay? And then I'll meet you getting to the end. So I went all around with my diamond mesh stitch, okay? And then I slip stitch I just made my last diamond mesh and slip stitch into the last. Sometimes the chain spaces or the spaces might differ, but make sure you maneuver your way in order to make it a little bit symmetrical, okay? So that you can slip stitch at the very first place you started chaining. So I'm just going to slip stitch, and yeah, this is how it looks. So for the next row, what I basically do is to slip stitch all around these 7 chains to the top where the picot edging is. So you just insert your hook, pull through 2 loops, pull through the loop. So just swiftly slip stitch nicely, okay? Not really tight, but like medium tension. All the way to where the picot edging is. Okay, we are almost there. So I'm going to slip stitch on top of the picot edging, and then yeah, it should be up there. So afterwards, I'm going to repeat the same thing I've been doing. We are going to chain 10, and then you locate the 3rd space from the hook, single crochet to create the picot edging, and then you chain 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now you are going to the next picot edging, and then you slip stitch on top of it, okay? You see how it's coming out already, looking already nice. Okay, the first row is sometimes a challenge, but afterwards the rest of the rows is pretty much easier, okay? And for context, I made how many rows, how many diamond mesh. I would leave it on your screen somewhere here. That's the number of diamond mesh stitch I made. I'm just going to repeat the same diamond mesh stitch with the picot edging all around. Nothing else. Mesh stitch is quite repetitive, and then I'll give you the number of rows I made as well. So as usual, as I said, you chain 10, and then on the 3rd space, so 1 2 3 is somewhere here, single crochet to create this picot edging, and then you chain 7, and then you locate the next picot edging on top of the previous mesh and slip stitch on top of it nicely. So that's what I'm going to do all around, and I'll show you how I end and also the number of rows I will be making as well. So getting to the end of the row, I'm about to complete my last diamond mesh stitch. So you remember we slip stitch to the top. I'm going to slip stitch in the very first space where the chain started, okay? So you just locate right there on top, slip stitch to join, and there we have it. This is what you're supposed to have. Nicely done. So yes, we are going to do a couple more rows. I will give you the information of the rows I made in the next slide, and then we work on the pant leg. So here I repeated 8 rows of the diamond mesh stitch, and we have been maintaining 22 mesh stitches, okay? If yours is an odd number, you could figure it out with the separation, okay? The next step is to work the pant leg or the crotch area before we work on one pant leg and the other as normally as we normally do for trousers. However, since we have an even number, it makes it easier for us. So 22 divided by 2 is 11, so which means we are going to have 11 pant and mesh stitch for one side and then 11 for the other. However, we'll be chaining a number to separate the crotch area. So when you take a look at where the green stitch marker is, right there, that is where I slip stitch to join the last row. Most of the times, to begin the next row, I slip stitch back upwards to where the next picot is before I start my chain. So since I've joined here, I'm not going to slip stitch as usual to the upper part. I'm just going to separate the pant leg exactly. I'm going to change the number of 18 to 19 depending on what you want. Okay, it depends on what your measurement of the crotch area, but this mesh stitch is quite forgiving, so you can go with the flow. Okay, so since I slip stitch to join this, I've counted 11 for this side, 11 for this side as well, and it happens to be where I slip stitch to join, and I've just connected to the opposite side. So let's make our crotch area. Okay, I'm just going to chain a number of 18. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the yarn. This was where I slip stitch to join, and I'm just going to chain a total of 18. So 1, 2, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Quite okay. And then I'm going to join at the opposite side. Okay, so right from here you count 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, which means it will be the space in between this and that. So you are going to single crochet to join here. This is the 11th one, and then you should make sure that this side is also 11. So let's count to make sure. So this side should also be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are right on track. So I'm just going to single crochet to join at this point to make your final separation. Okay, this is how it looks. Now what you are going to do is to turn over. Since you have single crochet to join, you are going to turn over. Okay, and then I'm going to work your diamond mesh stitch. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. Okay, locate the third space, single crochet to make a picot edging before you chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go back down, count 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then slip stitch to join over here, and that's your first diamond mesh stitch. Okay, for the crotch area. Now let's chain again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, move to the third space, single crochet, and then you chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, count 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and single crochet in the next. You should have this. So we have 2 diamond mesh stitches so far. This space might be between, I think, 7 or 6 chains left. Okay, the chains might differ. Okay, sometimes you might not have 7 spaces accurately, but it's fine. Now you're going to make your next diamond mesh stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. single crochet into the third space, and then you chain 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So do you know what you do? You're going to skip this whole chain stitches left, chain left, and then you move to the next diamond mesh, and then you single crochet on top of the picot to blend in, okay, or slip stitch, okay. So this is how it will look. So that's how I blend in with regards to the pant leg or the crotch area, okay. So now I'm going to continue with the same diamond mesh stitch all around. Let me put a stitch marker at the very first crotch one, so that I'll show you how I join or blend in, and then we'll be working on the pant leg, okay, on one full pant leg before we move to the next, and then we repeat whatever I've been teaching you at the other side as well. And since we had 11 it's quite easier with the separation. So I'll meet you when I'm about to join, and I'll give you the easy technique. This is my last diamond mesh stitch before I get to the exact hole which began the crotch area, okay. This time we are going to do a smooth transition technique to combine, okay. So regularly you are just going to complete your last diamond mesh stitch before you join the crotch area, okay, and then you should have something like this. If you have something like this is the space where the crotch area is, and this is the last diamond mesh stitch for the previous row. We're about to connect in a smooth transition. So as usual, pay attention. I'm going to chain 10, and then we are going to single crochet in the third space, okay, as usual, and then we are going to chain 7 again, okay. And then to have a smooth transition, we are going to take this piece, which is the first mesh we made for the crotch area, locate the picot edging on top, and just slip stitch to join, okay. As easy and simple as that, and that is it. However, I recommend that you place your stitch marker over in the last diamond mesh stitch which connected, so that you know where the joining begins, okay. So I just put the stitch marker at a caution, because it will be a little bit difficult to detect when you are done with the pant leg, okay. So what I do is that in the tie area, sometimes instead of chaining 10, I can add 2 extra, okay, for the beginning, and chain 12, single crochet in the third as usual, and then chain 9, just to expand the holes a little and make it a little bit easier, okay, for the tie area. You could do that, but depending on the flow, you could just go along with regular rules, okay. And sometimes when I'm getting to the end, I can switch to a smaller hook, or reduce the chain spaces to, I sometimes I do not want it to flow very big getting to the end, okay, the leg area. So I just want a little bit reduction. So to reduce, you can change the number of chain stitches. You can reduce it, or you can change the hook size to a much more smaller hook. That's my technique, okay. But mesh stitch is quite forgiving and easy to work, okay. So let's continue. So as usual, I'm just going to chain my 10, single crochet in the third space as usual. As I said, if you are increasing, you chain 12, okay, to increase the hole a little, but I'm just maintaining the same thing. Afterwards, I'm just going to chain 7, and then locate the picot edging, and slip stitch. The picot edging serves as a template for you to locate and join easily. Okay, so you realize that this is a little bit peak. Okay, so this begins the next row. Please take notice, this begins the next row. I've done one row for the crotch area. Okay, and we made 23 rows. Sorry, we made 8 rows for the main before we did the crotch area, and then we have made this is going to be the second row when we complete the crotch area. So I'll give you the number of rows from the crotch area to the pant leg, okay, excluding the main body. I'll give you the number of rows I made for that. And as I said, I give you my technique details to increase or decrease depending on what you want, and I'm more of a freehand person, so I just go with the flow. You figure it out, just be measuring it or putting it on your body as you go on with the process. Okay, so this is the first message. I'm just going to continue whenever I locate the picot edging and slip stitch to join, and then work my diamond mesh stitch till I get to this last picot edging, last diamond mesh stitch which connected this. Okay, I'll meet you there, show you once and for all how I join smoothly, and then I'll leave you on your own to figure the whole pant leg before you also cut and join and work the same thing here as well. End of row 2 for the pant leg. Okay, let me demonstrate to you once again how I join. Okay, the smooth transition. So the stitch marker was based in the last one, the last diamond mesh stitch before we join. So we are going to make the smooth transition. This is the first. We are just going to, this is the first diamond mesh stitch. We are going to just chain 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, move to the third space, single crochet, chain 7 again, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, and then you're just going to move to the very first diamond mesh stitch you made, just the picot edging on top, slip stitch to join nicely. Okay, and then now you can remove the stitch marker and put it in the diamond mesh stitch we just made. This will serve as the last one, okay, which connected it. And as I said, it's important to take notice of that diamond mesh stitch so that you know where you are joining and all of that. Okay, so yeah, so this is going to be the first. Okay, even though it joined, it's going to qualify as the first. I'm just going around with your diamond mesh stitch. Okay, just go along with the flow, just be keeping intact the exact place you joined, and that's what matters. The mesh stitch that joined it, just put a stitch marker there. I'm just going to give you the number of rows. Mesh stitch is quite forgiving, so just go along with the flow. It's all about the length that brings out the beauty of the mesh pants. So I'll meet you when I'm done with one pant leg, and then we just work on the other. This is how I connect after working one pant leg. So I locate the end of the chain 18 chain from the previous row, and then that's why I connect. So I'm just going to connect over here at the beginning here. So when you put it on a flat surface, you can just connect somewhere here in the corner. Then you are going to attach your yarn. So I just slip stitch to join, and as usual I'm just going to make my 10 chains. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Single crochet in the third space to make a picot edging, and then chain 7. As usual, I'm just going to skip 7 spaces. Happens to be where I slip stitch from the previous row, so I'm just going to slip stitch in this piece right there to make my first diamond mesh. I'm just going to continue it again, chain 10, single crochet in the third space, chain 7, skip 7 spaces, slip stitch into the 8th space, turn around, work towards this direction. Now working in a round like direction. So we are going to chain 10 as usual, single crochet in the third space, chain 7, skip this main intersection which ends the chain 18 from the previous row. Just skip this intersection and slip stitch on top of the picot edging. And that's it. You transition into the main diamond mesh. So I'm just going to work all around. I do recommend that you do locate the very first diamond mesh stitch you made in order to know how you connect as time goes by, but you are just connecting on top of the picot edging. So just move along. You chain 10 as usual. You single crochet in the third space, and then you chain 7. You slip stitch on top of the picot edging, and you work all this around. I'll meet you after the number of repetitions I make for this pant leg. It's supposed to be actually the same number as the other completed pant leg, so yeah. So working the mesh stitch can be very time consuming, but after 25 more rows from the crotch area you should be done, and that is what I made in this process. And you just cut off, weaving the yarns when necessary, and you should have a very nice fitted pant leg for your mesh detail cover up. I love how it turned out, and this stitch is very easy and very repetitive, so that is the magic. I added a top which matches perfectly. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Bye.